welcome to another vlog. Welcome to another Monday. I sincerely hope it isn't Monday for you right now, or at least that your Monday is better than mine is. However, it is at least lunchtime. So it's almost the last week of January, and yesterday I posted my blog post about my machine learning related January goals. And yesterday was the 22nd of January. Now, thankfully, one of the two goals I already made decent progress on. So it was just the post that came a bit late, and the goal was maybe also a bit late, but it's still doable. In case you want to read the blog article, it will be linked down below, but let me quickly recap. So goal number one is to read the SHAP paper. If you've never heard of SHAP, Shapley values and SHAP values are a form of interpreting machine learning results. Explainable AI is like the cover umbrella term, I think. And I recently came into contact with them again at work, and I want to understand them better. Also, I want to get over my fear of reading research papers. So I want to read a research paper every month. Hopefully, maybe that's like a tentative yearly goal. So I already have it downloaded on my iPad, and I have read like 2.5 pages, and I think there are like 9 in total. So that is one of the priorities for this week. My other goal, second goal of the month, was to do 10 small coding challenges in Scala, which is a new programming language that I'm learning. And I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but I think I already have like 7 done. So I will just squeeze that in the coming days at some point. Now, also, if you're new here, hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a data science consultant. So I'm also, of course, working full-time right now, which is what I will be returning to in about 10 minutes when my lunch break is over. I'm working from home, so that's why you see this thirsty plant in the background that really needs watering. All right, I'm quickly gonna finish this food, and then I'll see you again when something interesting happens, or when I get time to read the paper this afternoon, evening. All right, next morning or early afternoon already. I'm still working, and I barely had time to make some food in my lunch break. There's a lot going on at work currently, lots of navigating and stuff. So sadly, no downtime to read my paper, even though it would be advantageous to know about SHAP values for this project, but there's just really no time. But yeah, as you saw last evening, I managed to read a bit. I am now at page 5, so I completed 4 out of the, let me check, 9-ish pages. So I read 2 pages yesterday. Honestly, I hope it comes together in the end, but it's one of those papers where it's hard to understand if you're coming into the topic new. In my opinion, there are papers that are good for like beginners of a topic. You just pick up and you're like, oh, okay, this makes a lot of sense, and some that you pretty much have to understand all of the surrounding factors. Bit frustrating, but I will push through and note down all of the things I learned from it, and then if I still have open questions, I'll look for another source on it and maybe continue reading in the book that I've downloaded about explainable AI in general. I just woke up and had our daily stand-up meeting, to which we don't stand up because it's cold and we're tired. But yeah, stand up, and we normally discuss our next tasks and what we're doing, but today we discussed that the Azure networking is sadly down. It seems like our project is really cursed, because normally outages, like, you know, like any sort of outages, like on Microsoft, or like when Stack Overflow was down or something, it was just a few hours, right? But no, it's the afternoon. It's pretty much the end of the workday, like normal work hours now, and we still can't access our server. Anyways, before I go back home, last night I recorded a time lapse of me reading a few more pages of the paper, and I posted on Instagram afterwards, because here's the thing, this is not a good beginner paper for people who have like not a lot of knowledge on the topic of feature importance or Shapley values or all of that, because I thought SHAP, so like capital SHAP, would be like a new implementation of like, it was kind of similar to Shapley values, but I thought it was completely new. Well, it turns out in the SHAP paper, they found a framework that describes all of these different things. So like the Lime framework, Shapley values, deep lift is also another feature importance algorithm. And they found a framework to prove certain properties about all of these things combined, and then also find where all of these algorithms have maybe drawbacks, and then they address these drawbacks specifically to make them fit their proofs of validity, of accuracy, of consistency, and so on. And that is why I've come to the conclusion that you should probably know how Lime works, that you should know how Shapley values work in detail, because the authors don't have time in their paper to explain that. And yeah, and that is why I think papers should come with a recommended reading list. Of course, they're written by experts in their field, and these experts largely think of other experts, but there will always be students reading this, especially as the field evolves and books, etc., have less time on catching up. And frankly speaking, there is not much incentive for machine learning experts to publish books. They're out of date very quickly, and like a lot of people just read blog posts, like not a lot of people buy books. Anyways, I still have 2 pages left to read, but I think these are my main thoughts. It definitely told me that I should start with the Shapley values, the original ones, and also look into Lime more. So yeah, I've gained a lot of context, but it was honestly a painful reading experience, and if you're a beginner to this topic, I would not recommend this paper as the first thing you read. You're welcome. Just coming on here to give you a super quick update. I showed you some clips earlier of how I finished the last 2 sections of the paper, first of all, and there's really not much to add to what I already said yesterday. It's not a good beginner paper to get into the topic, but I still learned some good stuff. I also showed you a quick, I still have my code open here, I showed you a quick time lapse of me working on my Scala kata, so like small coding challenges, and I just finished the 10th one, so that's both of my monthly study goals completed. So yeah, really happy about that. I hope maybe this inspired you to have some own goals, to set some goals maybe for February, that's coming up very soon now. And yeah, just don't plan too much, try and be realistic. I always try to plan too much, so I'm very happy that I finished this. As always, thank you guys for watching, and maybe we'll see each other again with a video about my February goals that I still haven't decided yet, so stay tuned. Alright, bye!